Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Law Lounge with Silva. It's your favorite criminal defense attorney here in Los Angeles, Silva. As you all know, I do a lot of court TV analysis, and I'm always doing something, whether it's for Yahoo News. But this time I really want to talk to something that's going to be huge on the headlines. It is the Lori Vallow Daybell trial. Now, what's interesting about Lori Vallow is that she's that Utah mom who allegedly killed her children and is also being accused of killing her ex-husband. She is now facing trial and she has decided to represent herself. Now, Lori Vallow is a very interesting young woman, and a lot of people would remember her as Lori Daybell. She is a very out there individual, I think we can all say, who had some very deep religious ideologies. She fell in love with someone who devised a plan essentially with her to get rid of quote unquote zombies. Zombies had taken over her children. Zombies had taken over her ex-husband. Zombies were essentially people who were taken over by the devil, and she and her husband thought that killing them was the right thing to do. What's interesting about this case is she's representing herself. And the issue becomes, is it ever smart to represent yourself? Now, Lori's an extreme, right? There are mental health issues there. It's very obvious. She is one of those people who's never been to law school, but thinks that she's smart enough to beat the system, or at least represent herself properly. And let me tell you, it is never advisable to represent yourself. Now, for infractions and tickets, absolutely. But for misdemeanors and felonies, unless you have some legal background, it is never wise to represent yourself. And there's a variety of reasons. Number one, objectivity. I have always said you need a third-person perspective. You should not be a witness in your own case. In other words, representing yourself while you went through it. You need that third party. That third party is going to stay completely objective, be able to come up with the right legal arguments to defend you, and also give you a perspective that you haven't seen. And that perspective is usually the perspective that the jury has. The other issue, if you don't trust your lawyer, you don't like your lawyer, you can always have another lawyer. Whether it's public defenders or any kind of court-appointed attorney or someone you hire, you want to make sure that you feel protected and that someone is fighting for you. But you also want to make sure that that attorney is giving you real advice. I always tell my clients, I analyze the evidence and I give them advice on their case. At the end of the day, they have to make the decisions on what they want to do. But I fight for them regardless of what their decision is. They may not follow my advice, but I'll always fight for them to have the right to fight the system to the best of my ability. All right, you guys, I would love to hear your opinions on Lori Daybell. Lori Daybell Vallow, if you will. I think now she's going by Lori Vallow, her married name. And I will be watching that trial, and I'll also be doing commentary for Court TV on it. Until the next time, you guys, you take care.